Hi, and welcome to the Margaret E. Heggan Free Public Library. I'm Miss Jennifer, and for today's Book Bites, we'll be celebrating International Polar Bear Day from February 27th. Let's see if you can spot the polar bear in Timmy Failure. It's a great series by Stephan Pastis, and this one's the first one, Mistakes Were Made. A prologue that story-wise is out of order. It's hard to drive a polar bear into somebody's living room than you'd think. You need a living room big enough to fit a car. You need a car that's big enough to fit a polar bear. And you need a polar bear that's big enough to point out your areas. Like the fact that you've driven into the wrong house, which when it comes to cars in living rooms is bad. I should back up the story, not the car. Chapter 1, blah, 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 blah. All right, let's get the boring stuff out of the way. My name is Failure, Timmy Failure. I look like this. My family name was once Failure, but somebody changed it. Now it is spelled as you see. I ask that you get your failure jokes out of the way now. I'm anything but. I am the founder, president, and CEO of a detective agency. I have named it for myself, Failure Incorporated. Failure Incorporated is the best detective agency in town, probably the state, perhaps the nation. The book you are holding is a historical record of my life as a detective. It has been rigorously fact-checked. All the drawings in here are by me. I have tried to get my business partner to do the illustrations, but they were not good. For example, here's this depiction of me. I decided to publish this history because my expertise is invaluable to anybody who ever wanted to be a detective. Just read the reviews. Invaluable to anyone who ever wanted to be a detective. Anonymous. But success did not come overnight to me. I had to overcome obstacles like these. 1, my mother. 2, my school. 3, my idiot best friend. And 4, my polar bear. And yes, I'm sure you have the same question as everyone else does when I list these obstacles. Why am I best friends with an idiot? I'll get to that later. Oh, and I suppose I should say a word about the 1,500-pound polar bear. His name is Total. Total's Arctic home is melting, so he wandered for food and found my catfish. He is now 3,101 miles from his former home. Yes, that's a long way to roam for a cat dish, but we buy good cat food. Sadly, my cat is now in kitty heaven, or perhaps the kitty badlands. He is never a friendly cat, but I still have a polar bear. Initially, Total displayed a fair degree of diligence and reliability, and thus I agreed to make him a partner in my agency. As it turned out, the diligence and reliability were a ruse. Sometimes polar bears do. And I don't want to talk about it. I also don't want to discuss the change I agreed to make in the name of the agency, which now reads like this in our Yellow Pages ad, Total Failure Incorporated. We won't fail despite what the name says. And now I have to go because the Timmy line's ringing. Ring, ring, ring. Oh, I wonder what trouble, how he's going to end up in that window in that car with the polar bear in somebody's house. Well, that's it for Book Bites today. I'm Miss Jennifer, and thank you, and I'll see you at the library.